We thought we would share some visuals for folks and just go through them one by one. As an obesogen, what are we looking at here?
Just in terms of the bottle
Yeah.
and the plastics and what are you sucking on?
Right, right. And at the end of the day, what makes plastic soft? And some people have already heard of this, but right,
Yes.
The softer the plastic, the more.
And so
Right.
pervasive. It's like been a huge culture shift.
right. And just because something is BPA-free doesn't mean the other plasticizers or softeners or other chemicals are harmless, correct?
Yeah, it is absolutely. I mean, we have to rely so much on parents being empowered and educated to look for those labels.
Right.
And it's unfortunate that that's the case.
So what's the alternative in your mind?
In terms of looking at labels and knowing what you're actually drinking from, I think with regard to plastics and trying to switch people to really trying to do glass bottles as much as you can.
Right, right. What would your mind say when looking at this? More of the same?
More of the same. I mean, the biggest thing is, is microwaving that. Imagine heating that. What are you really absorbing?
Or even freezing it, as I understand.
Yes.
Maybe even causative of, and when we're looking at, convenience, this screams convenience.
Right.
No one wants a stainless
Yeah.
steel pan because you're scraping it off on the sink for half
Exactly.
an hour after. But what's happening with this when we're feeding our kids?
And because it's coming into that per egg. And
Right.
we're not using iron cast ceramic type clean clean pans to feed ourselves and our families. But it's convenient. Everybody's in a rush.
Right. I think that's really important, though, right? As we hone in on the alternative, or let's call it the solution. So stickless pans out,
Right.
as you mentioned, ceramic or,
Iron cast.
iron cast. Because, and I love a good ribeye. It's one of my go-tos is a great big salad at night and a ribeye that I use kitchen scissors and I chop. But the trick is getting the pan really, really hot first. And then nothing seems to stick in cast iron.
No, cast iron is fantastic for cooking if you have patience.
Not to
That's
mention,
exactly it.
Right.
It's the patience.
Right. Not to mention, by the way, as an internist, you have a huge appreciation for what's happening in the red blood cell and anemia. And some people, just by using a cast iron, can actually solve their low-level
Right.
anemias. Right.
And we have a lot of vegetarian, vegan patients. It's a good thing to try.
Right.
Yeah.
What are we looking at here,
look
especially
at
as it
all
relates
these
to
cans.
baby formulas in cans?
Oh, that makes me so sad.
Right. So it's the liners, right?
Yeah.
These plastic liners. Just because something is tin or metal or whatever it is on the outside doesn't mean that you're not getting exposed because of the lining on the inside.
And that's directly touching the food.
And a little bit, I suppose, more of the same. Don't want to heat with that. That's for
This
sure.
one is tricky because everybody's using it, but this is kind of the softer plastic that you can get, which means it has the highest level of those phthalates.
Right.
Yeah.
And, I pulled this one into conversation because, this looks like a really nice educational environment, a lot of light and everything, but this floor is actually not wood, it's vinyl. And what are your thoughts there?
Off-gassing pretty much forever.
Right.
Yeah.
It does look very kind of green and wooden and nature-esque, but yes.
But it's hidden. And by the way, I think part of the conversation has to be here that we're not trying to overwhelm or make people feel like they should be going crazy and change everything in their life. It's about burden.
Swaps, yeah. And what can
What
you
you
swap?
can
Yeah,
manage.
what can you manage?
Right, because often you can't change your environment, right? You can, manage what you put into your body, as you said earlier on. That's number one. And then this. This is just very typical, right? Of a playpen, 0 to 2. All these plastics.
And
if
she-
you can go for wood,
Natural fire.
Right.
Yeah.
natural,
Exactly. And she's chewing
bamboo,
on it.
right? Well, she's chewing on that soft,
Right.
soft plastic. So again, drive this home for us. The plastic, which is often phthalate to make it soft. What is an obesogen when we're talking an endocrine or hormone disruptor? Like, visualize this for us. What's happening in the body?
So it's like setting her up to how she processes food in the future, how she stores fat, impacts her metabolism, and then will also impact her future estrogen and testosterone production. And these types of chemicals impact not only your propensity for obesity, but also how you process in the future puberty and what happens to your mental health.
Right. I'm going to oversimplify this. You guys are going to
Yes.
correct me on this, but if every cell in the body has these little receptors in it, and we're meant to lock and load essentially with the hormones that are meant to do things in the cell to make it divide or make it do things, that there are other things that might fit in that same receptor.
Right.
Those molds you were talking
Yeah.
about, these soft plastic softeners, and when you get those in there, sometimes they're even more potent, right, than the
Yes.
body makes on its own.
Yeah, and you nailed it. It's like those mimickers. Like these things are endocrine disruptors because they're mimicking what your body's used to seeing.
Right.
And they're just changing her trajectory and pathway in terms of how she should actually show up. Her epigenetics are changing because of these exposures.
That's the term right there, epigenetics. Let's unpack that for a second, because people understand genes, the eye color we have, and hair color we have, and skin color, everything else. That's what we call phenotypic. But what is
Epigenetics.
epigenetic?
Epi really, I think, is what medicine is all about in this day and age. We now know that the environment is affecting us more than the genes we were born with.
Exactly.
They're important, what we're born with, in terms of susceptibility, but the world, what we eat, what we think, what we drink, all of those things are actually affecting our genes and determining how they're going to display their message. Biggest study ever done that I've found on epigenetics, 2016, I think, European Journal of Aging. 400 million individuals through genotyping. The result was that 93% of their health and longevity was due to the environment, not their genes.
I believe
93%.
Right.
Yeah. So at best, maybe 10, 20% is our genes. But really on evidence like that, how we're living, what we're doing, what we're eating, what we're thinking, what we're drinking is determining the outcome.
Absolutely. Very, very well said, both of you. We have this, we like to look at this consensus meter. This is a review of the scientific literature when you ask this AI, very heavily evidence-based database, a question. So what I just asked it was, do plastics cause endocrine disruption? This isn't, born of natural, alternative, or functional medicine. This is just science.
Right.
And so the consensus meter is a heavy 88% from the data. But what I think is the most striking is, okay, there's some studies out there that are not necessarily definitive, but there is zero no. It's either maybe or definitely. And the majority is saying, I think we're pretty firm here that's definite. So we've got other things. So we've got, shower curtains made of this stuff, right? We've got...
You can smell the shower curtains. If you ever get a new one.
You can.
Yeah.
You know what I've heard you say before, if you can smell something very heavily, like, even, perfume,
Yes.
that it's already
It's
in
already
your brain.
in your brain.
Right.
As soon as you smell it, it's in your brain.
Yeah.
That's right.
What are these things doing in terms of
Yes.
endocrine disruption or hormone dysregulation?
Yeah. Household cleaning products, and people just are unaware as to, especially in your as a baby, when they're mom's rushing up to clean up that spill, and baby touches a toy that touched that and is directly exposed. And these are, again, endocrine disruptors. How are they impacting your cortisol and your insulin? What's it setting you up in the future in terms of how you metabolize?
Wow. I mean, in our home, my wife is amazing with this, and I've taken her lead. I mean, we use baking soda and water as an abrasive for some of the porcelain or marble countertops. We use essential oils in
Vinegar
sprays.
is another great one.
Water and vinegar to mop.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, these are all simple alternatives that people can go to. In fact, they're a lot cheaper most of the time, and big industry. We have to always be critical and mind and critically thinking when it's walking down the aisle in a typical grocery store. I'm not sensitive. I'm not one of those people, but I can't stand this aisle. I will avoid it at all costs. I just get a headache.
Right. Yeah. And I think there was a study, I don't remember when it was from, but it was about using dishwashers versus hand washing. And the families who used dishwashers were more susceptible to like asthma. And it was just like everything is super clean. And what's the products that they're using versus dishwashing? So we use dishwashing at home. Everybody gets annoyed because it's a little longer and it's a little inconvenient. But the price of convenience is our health.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. I'm looking that up to see if I can find that. It was asthma.
Yeah, and dishwashing, like the allergies and asthma in terms of dishwashing versus hand washing. Not that you should go to hand washing because it is inconvenient. But again, it's about what can you do that are easy swaps.
Right. Here's one, at least, that was published in 2015 in Pediatrics, Allergies in Children in Hand versus Machine Dishwashing. That might be what you're referring to, or the results. Essentially, in families who use hand washing, allergic diseases were less common than in children whose families use machine dishwashing.
And
Very
we're speaking
interesting.
to parents who are really busy and asking them to hand wash might be a lot, but these are small little lifestyle hacks that you can make that could have impact, especially if your child already has a bunch of allergies.